You can only be you, baby.
Welcome to another episode of the You Can Only Be You podcast, investing in mindset, health, and wealth. I am the host, Ucoby, along with my wife, Keisha.
Hello, hosting as well.
We have a special guest with us, Gary Marshall, owner of Fit Stop and entrepreneur. Thank you for being with us, Gary.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure being here. I'm excited.
Appreciate you sitting down with us. As we like to start off with every podcast, we always ask, what is your perspective on mindset, health, and wealth, and how it applies to your everyday life?
Obviously, mindset is super critical when you're doing anything. Mindset is probably the most important part of being able to accomplish goals. And I mean, fitness, for example, you have to have a certain mindset in order to come in here every single day to continue to work on yourself, and to build that confidence. I honestly think that confidence plays a huge role in your entire life. I mean, confidence is key to everything, and that all starts with your mindset. You have to establish that, you have to build yourself up, and you have to make sure that you maintain that in order to be successful, or to follow through on what you're trying to accomplish. So,
and I think when you say confidence, it goes into a certain certainty, like meaning
Knowing what you want.
yes,
Knowing how you feel. You did say something this morning when I asked you how you were doing.
yeah,
And what did you say?
I'm always great.
Always great.
Always
So
great.
that's a
Always
great
great.
mindset to have.
Yeah.
That's definitely the kind of mindset that'll get you through the day, get you to
Yeah.
accomplish your goals.
You have to. I mean, it's so important to, even if you're having a bad day, there's no point in dwelling on it.
Absolutely.
You have to think positive just to try and get yourself back up to where you want to be. You don't want to stay down here, you want to be up here, especially so early in the morning. I had a bad morning the other day, but I just, you know what? I'm going to take a breath, I'm going to take a step back, relax, I'm going to follow through, and I'm going to get back to where I need to be at.
Right.
Kept on telling yourself you were doing good.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
It's only 10 minutes in a 24-hour day.
That's correct.
Yeah, you gotta keep pushing.
So when you say mindset and also being a businessman and a
Yeah.
family man, how do you take that mindset and apply it to your home life as well as your business life? How do you make that transition from going to entrepreneur, businessman to now I got to be dad, husband, and so I have to flip this
Because
mindset?
it's all different investments. And
Yeah,
they all
so
take
yeah,
100%. They all take 100% at that time.
Yeah,
It's,
so
it's very tough at times because my kids are young. They don't understand why I work as much as I do. It's not that I'm trying to stay away from my kids. I'm actually trying to build myself up to where eventually I could spend as much time with them as they possibly need me to be there. So they don't understand it sometimes. My son, he's 12. My daughter, she's 7. So it's times where they're like, well, why aren't you home? And it's like, oh, buddy, if you only knew, man. I'm doing this so that way we can spend more time together in the future. And I'm hoping within a couple years, the goal is to be there for them as much as possible. I'm still there for them. Don't get me wrong. But they just, it's hard to explain to a child why I do what I do.
And what you're working
Correct.
towards, because they want to see something more tangible right here and now.
Correct.
And we say that a lot. Your future self will thank you.
yes, your future self will thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, but you're also mentally teaching them hard work, how to build a business.
Yeah.
I know sometimes you incorporate them, bring them in, they
Yeah.
get to see you in action. So how does that transition when you are explaining to them? Is it helping them?
What kind of role model would I be to my children if I didn't pursue my goals and
That's
my
awesome.
dreams?
That's awesome.
I tell
Lead by
my
example.
I
Yeah,
tell my
that's
son all
amazing.
the time. He's a hardcore baseball player, and I tell him, it's like, dude, he'll get down on himself. He'll get, if he strikes out, or and I'm like, listen, man, confidence, buddy. You have to change your mindset. You have to be confident, even if you're not the greatest. You have to believe that you are, because that'll show in your future game.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, but yeah, same with my daughter. I just tell them that they can do whatever they want, and if I'm doing this, if I'm following my goals, my dreams, they're gonna be more apt to say, you know what, Dad did it, Mom did it.
Right.
Why can't we?
And that's what I
Absolutely.
saw him do, him
Yeah.
and her do, and
Yeah.
that's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
When you say confidence, what's some self-talk you give yourself?
Man, I'm always I anytime I do something, I believe that I'm the best at it. Growing up, we didn't have all the money in the world. We didn't, my parents did what they could to provide for us and give us the minimum. You know what I'm saying? But they worked
The
hard.
necessities.
Yeah, the necessities, the stuff that's important. So, in high school, middle school, I was always kind of like, I was the class clown, just kind of joking around with everybody. And then I think that kind of helped me be who I am today. My that whole me not being afraid to hear what people have to say about me. Like, I don't care what anyone says about me. I'm gonna be who I am.
And you kept it lighthearted too.
I was like, I'm just gonna be who I am, and if you like me, great. If not, one day you will.
But that's believing in yourself.
Yeah, like,
I do. I think when you are confident in being who you are and you have that mindset, I feel like that's believing in yourself. That's having faith in yourself, believing in yourself, and sticking with it.
Yeah, like there's
Absolutely.
people that don't like you, and you're just gonna have to brush it off because you should have a goal in life, and nothing should step in the way of you achieving that goal. Your dreams. I truly believe that. I mean, that's why I do what I do. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm opening up another one, and but this isn't all I want to do. I love helping people. It's so rewarding watching people come in, pour into the facility, and work out and ask questions, and seeing other people interact with each other, people that you typically wouldn't see interact. I mean, to me, that's the most rewarding part.
Expanding, being more cultured.
Yeah.
And you're more hands-on in the process.
Yeah.
A lot of people who are gym owners, they take a step back and they delegate, but you're delegating, but you're also involved, and you're here, and you're conversing with the members and making impressions. That goes a long way. That's impactful. Do you know, like, what do you see your ripple effects as of now? I know you probably will see it years from now.
I love people. I love watching people's mindset change. I love the positive attitude that comes with me saying a simple hello, how's your morning?
Totally understand.
Everybody, nobody wants to admit it, but everybody wants to be able to talk to somebody and explain certain situations. It might be a bad morning for somebody else, and me saying, hey, good morning, how you doing, might change their entire day.
I totally
Because they're
agree.
able to just, maybe they're gonna, they're gonna be able to tell me, hey, you know what, man, I had a bad morning, and then I'm gonna be able to be like, you know what, though, it's just a bad morning, not a bad day. Let's.
But in that instance, they're visible, and they know that they're like, oh, I'm significant. And in a sense,
everyone wants to know that they're relevant, that they matter.
Yes, there you
Everybody,
go.
no matter who you are, no matter what mindset you're in or where you are in life, whether you say you want to be alone or not, there's not a single person that doesn't want to feel or know that they're relevant.
Correct.
Like, you see me.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome, though. I'm same way. I'm one of those people who feel like, what harm is it to smile at somebody or to say hi or to be positive?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't cost you anything.
Correct. I say, so we did the whole bell ringing for the Salvation Army at Walmart.
Oh, yeah.
And people would walk by, and I don't, the money part, if you want to donate, great, but it was just a hello, good morning, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
That interaction, and you can kind of see the people that didn't want to look at you just kind of smile just a little bit. It's those little interactions that I think mean the world to somebody.
Now, you did that with your family?
I did that with, I work at Tyler Automotive.
Okay.
And I did that with them. We do that every year.
Was that
for
your
the past
first
10
time?
years? No, we do it every year for the past 10 years now, 10 years.
Wow, I've never done that.
So you're still
I've never
working
done that.
full time.
Yeah.
So let's dive into that. For someone, especially, it's plenty of people out there that got aspirations to start a gym, and now you've already taken over your second one,
Yes.
and still work a full-time job.
Yeah.
How does that work? How do you find
What's
the
your
time?
superpower?
Right.
We want to know what he's eating or drinking every morning to get charged.
Because there's plenty of people out there that say, I want to do this, and then they like, well, I got obligations. Can I sacrifice my job? How can I?
It's easy. I think it's easy to get started, but how do you keep going?
It's a day at a time. It's a grind. Don't get me wrong. There's times where I'm like, what am I doing? But I look at the big picture. The key is not to have tunnel vision. You don't ever want to have tunnel vision. You want to see everything. You want to see the entire layout. And that's kind of how I see things. It's like if I had tunnel vision and it was just like this, I'm not going to see the big picture. So every morning I wake up, I go through my routine. stop by one facility, I come to this facility, I go to my full-time job, you know, try and help somebody out there, and then, you know, I do a lot of driving. It's exhausting, but I know at the end of the day, my goal and what I'm trying to accomplish and all the hard work that I'm putting in now will pay off. I have all the confidence in the world that what I'm trying to accomplish will work. And if it doesn't, you know what? I learned. You know, I learned.
Something's gonna work out of it.
Right.
Something's gonna work out of it.
Like you said, if it doesn't, you learn, and now you going forward, you can apply what you learned.
Something will work out of it. You'll gain something from the process.
It's interesting though. You know, if you want something bad enough, you'll figure out a way to make it happen. That's it.
So with that being said, and you being such a busy person, you working a full-time job, having a family, owning 2 gyms, the health aspect of it. So you have the mentality aspect down, and then how do you stay energized? How do you stay vibrant? How do you stay smiling? The health part.
A lot of coffee.
A lot of coffee.
And you would assume, most people would assume, okay, he owns 2 gyms. He's got to be working out all the time. He's got to be, he's got to be lifting.
Gym owners, they're like,
or he's got to be a health nut.
I'm just a normal guy. No, I do eat well, for the most part. You know, there's those meals that I sneak in, but I think a lot of it, honestly, it's all a mental thing. You know, a lot of it is mental and just trying to. When you need rest, your body will tell you need rest.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
Take a nap, take a break, take a step back. But I try and it's all about balance and just trying to make sure you get that right. And I'm still trying to work on it. Don't get me wrong. I'm no expert in that field, but it's still it's a grind. And there's times where I'm just like, okay, I need to go to bed early tonight because I can feel my body starting to tell me, hey, you need some rest. But overall, it hasn't really bothered me. It hasn't really affected my mood. You know,
okay, that's awesome.
I'm doing so much walking. I think that's where my workout is. You know?
And I think it's more so because you have a passion for this and what you're doing. It doesn't seem it's icing on the cake to leave your full-time job and actually go put work into the passion because now it re-energizes.
Correct.
You. You get that boost.
There's always an energy in here. Actually, I mean, I love coming in here and seeing people and seeing members walk through the door and interacting and asking them how their lives are, and just watching them grow. You know, watching them change. That's to me that's the rewarding part. This is why I love doing what I'm doing, because it's you're helping them achieve their goals, and you're getting them motivated.
It's priceless.
Yeah, some of the stories, you know, are just everybody has a why. Why they're coming in here, why they're working on themselves, whether it be, you know, family problems, divorces, you know, we've had them all, health issues. We do silver sneakers, so I mean we get a lot of the older crowd that comes in here.
What's silver sneakers?
Silver sneakers is insurance paid gym membership.
Yeah.
So, you know, some older members can come in here and work out without having to worry about, and we have classes and stuff like that.
It's an insurance-based. People that are more mature or have more medical concerns, they offer that program to them.
Okay,
so they're not able to have access to a gym.
Especially if they're unlimited fixed income. Okay.
That is awesome to me because you see these people that, you know, we just had two.
Glad you participate in that.
Yeah, two wonderful ladies just signed up and they were like, we don't know how to use any of this equipment. So I walked through and showed them everything, and they felt, you could see their confidence. Just as you're showing them each and every machine, their confidence just starts rising and rising. And that's what I love. You know, I love that interaction, them being able to say, hey Gary, can you help me out with this? Or hey Jamie, or you know.
So like feeds you. It feeds you like the health aspect, the energy aspect. You're getting a mental boost from that. Yeah. Just quick question. You had mentioned sleep. About sleeping. So how many hours of sleep are you sacrificing, or how many hours of sleep have you averaged prior to and then currently?
What's a good number?
So before you did all this, where were you sleeping a day?
I was probably, you know, I'm always a night owl. I was always a night owl. I never really could sleep because my brain's 100 miles an hour.
Oh my God, I stay up all night.
I'm always thinking of ideas and all these things I can do. So for me, if I get 5 to 7 hours of sleep, that's a win.
Okay, that's decent.
That's a win. I'm probably averaging right around 5.
Okay.
You know, just because once I see the sun kind of start to rise, I'm like, it's time to get up. It's time for me to do this. It's time to.
You have more to the day.
Yeah, like you have
that
more to
little
the day.
edge. That little edge. It's funny because I think I say 6 is good for me.
Yeah.
I have to get 6 in order to be productive for me. I have
6
to get
hours.
6.
I'm good with 4 to
6.
6.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't sleep no more than 4 to 6 hours. I wake up.
Yeah.
I wake up.
At the 6-hour
I'm-
mark, it's kind of like I'm up.
I can do 4, but I like
Yeah.
naps. So I will take 4 hours of sleep just so I can have a reason to take a nap. I'm like, I only slept for 4 hours. I need a nap.
Yeah, I wish. I don't even know what a nap is anymore.
So let me ask you this: have your meals changed as far as you like eating? How do you maintain a good diet? Because you know you look healthy.
Yeah.
You're
Do you
busy.
meal prep?
Yeah.
Do you meal prep?
You know, I try.
Does your
to
wife help you?
I do.
I'm
try
sure
to-
it's a team effort.
It is. It's definitely a team effort. I try and meal prep as much as possible. I do a lot of cooking at home. I'm a big cook. I love cooking.
That's
Me
awesome.
too.
I
Me
love
too.
that though.
Me too.
Who doesn't love a man that
I
can
love
cook?
it.
I mean,
love
come
it.
on.
It's like a
It is.
skill. It's,
Yeah.
the
And I love him so
Oh, I bet.
much for
That's
it.
my
I
wife.
love that skill.
See, I'm Hispanic, so I make all the Mexican food, and she's like, "Oh,
That's
baby,
what's up.
you get it. You get
Yeah.
it. You make that rice. You make that rice."
I mean, we do accept dinner invitations.
Hey, well, no, she knows that I'll come home and I'll be like, "Hey, honey, I'm gonna make this." I always do a lot of research on different meals and what's healthy. So we try and implement as many healthy meals as possible throughout the week. Given the circumstances, obviously, if I can make it home in time to do it, and I try and make it at least a 2 or 3 time a week thing, where I can come home, make dinner, make sure everybody's happy, and check in and just make sure all the kids are good, put them to bed, things like that.
So you've been able to maintain a good, healthy diet to keep everything going, even with everything. And like I said, the support with your wife and your children is making it a lot easier for you to keep that diet up.
Yeah, I eat a lot of fruit throughout the day too.
That's
I
awesome.
was gonna say you got to keep the energy level high,
I'm
so
a
you
huge
probably
fruit eater.
nibbling
What's your
and
must-have?
snack.
So we have a busy man here. He's a business owner, a family man. He has a full-time job. What is your go-to daily for you to thrive? Like when you say, I need to consume this, or this is what I'm going for to fuel me. What's your go-to?
I need a tea, and I need an apple with peanut butter.
Nice,
Apple.
nice.
Apple
and peanut butter?
Every morning, apple and peanut butter. That's my thing. Or grapes. I gotta have like a big thing of grapes, and I just sit there. I just love fruit.
I would say for me, it's tea and a banana maybe. Banana should be fine.
Those are good.
Yeah.
I like nuts.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I would need some nuts. I can deal with an apple
We have
and some
Trail
water.
mix as a
I
snack.
need some water.
plenty of water.
Plenty of water, need water.
I have a
The
question.
fruit, I like fruit.
What was the first step after you knew I'm about to do this? I'm going to take action. What was the first step in getting the ball rolling? Was it like, okay, I need to look up, do I need to take a loan? Was it building a capital?
there
Now,
was-
this is coming from a wealth standpoint.
Yeah, there was obviously you want to go in with some money to obviously open a facility like this. So we had a little bit of savings. I was able to borrow in with the banks to get this going. And there's a lot of opportunities. I mean, I work in the car business, and there's plenty of opportunities that came through for me to go venture and do other things. This was just an opportunity that we have discussed for numerous years. He was actually a client of mine. And I sold him all his cars. This is how this whole thing started. I've sold him and his family all his cars, and we built a pretty good relationship. And it was over the course of 4 or 5 years, we'd always be like, "Hey, man, Niles needs this. Niles needs this," because he owns Eastlake Gyms, or he's one of the owners. And he mentioned it to me and said, "Hey, man, you want to be our first franchise owner?" And
Who is this?
Jason and Justin.
And Justin, okay.
Yep, they're the owners of Eastlake. Awesome guys. I have all the respect for them in the world. They're great people. But yeah, he reached out to me and said, "You want to do it?" And I didn't second guess it. It was the one thing that I'd never second guessed.
Wow.
Out of all the opportunities that came
When
to
it
me,
feels right.
it felt right. I knew this is what I wanted to do. He asked me, and I sat there and I said, "Yeah." I didn't second guess it, not one bit. I mean, so I knew it was the right move. And me making the investment, I was going to go 110%.
That's awesome.
To make sure that it was successful.
That's awesome. That's
and
awesome.
it's going to be 110% 10 years from now. It's always going to be 110%. I always want to put maximum effort, make sure that everybody you know.
Absolutely.
But see, that's an investment because you invested into that relationship, just being who you were and helping him out into a point to where that opportunity, when it presented itself, it just looked like an opportunity, not knowing that this is the rapport I built. Like
Yeah.
the little small things
They
add
add
up.
up. Correct, they do.
add up.
Building a rapport with somebody is so important. Building a relationship, just trying. You know, I tell my son, my daughter all the time, I'm like, just have a good heart, be a good person.
Yeah.
Just
Be nice.
Yeah, be nice. Don't
Yeah.
be a good person, and good things will happen. That's it.
Mhm.
You know.
Why do you do that?
Be nice.
I always say that.
Be nice.
Be nice.
nice.
Yeah. See, I mean,
Be nice.
just be a good person, and things will pan out over the course of time. Don't change who you are.
It's
Don't-
that energy.
Yeah. Don't.
Yeah.
You create, you got to
Yeah.
be consistent, and you have to be persistent and dedication.
And you
know
have to
what?
be
This
conscious
is-
of your conscious.
And this is what people don't understand. When people talk about being dedicated, be dedicated to yourself. Be
Mhm.
dedicated in
Invest
who
in
you
yourself.
are. Be dedicated in the type of person that you want to be. Like I'll say, if you want to be a good person, be a good person, but stick with that and run with it. If you're going to be a butthole or a bad person, then be that person,
Yeah.
but don't be
Back and forth.
Back and forth.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
Know it.
That's exactly right. Just don't worry about what people are gonna say. Just continue being the person that you want to be. Don't get me wrong. I'm far from perfect. I have my my flaws like anybody else.
But you're perfectly you.
But exactly, I'm perfectly me.
You can only be you.
Yeah, and that's important. That is so important that you just continue to be you and don't put on a show for anybody else. Just be who you are. If people don't like it, guess what? You don't need them in your life anyway.
Exactly.
In your
Exactly.
in your approach and your success into building your wealth, what's been some of the hardest challenges in being a business owner and balancing that with your job and having two businesses and really trying to figure out where, you know what I mean, like where your time is going to go and how you're going to build that wealth, like your perspective of what made you decide that I'm going to open up two businesses, but I'm also going to hold down a full-time job.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because
And your wife, if your wife works as well?
My wife works.
So both of you have full-time jobs and you own two gyms.
Yeah.
And so,
She's awesome. My wife is she's like superwoman. She's amazing. She knew
Hey,
is
Superwoman.
Yeah, she knew this is what I wanted to do. So don't get me wrong, there's a little pushback. She's like, why do you want to leave a job that you're doing really well in and jump into something you know really not a whole lot about? Don't get me wrong, I'm not a fitness guru, none of that. I do understand people though. I understand that there's a why for everything that somebody does. So there's a lot of tension there, I guess you could say, that we work through. We're great now. She understands that everything I do with a
For
purpose.
us.
Yeah, and I
For
do
us.
for us. It's for her, for my children, to leave a legacy. And it's been rough at times, but I think now we're in a position where she's like, okay, I see you. I see what you're doing.
she see
know?
you building the wealth,
Yeah, she's like,
mentally,
okay.
mental
But
wealth,
also,
tangible
she
wealth.
sees he's happy. She
Yeah.
sees he's happy. That transforms the relationship.
Well, I think
and
he's
that
always been happy. It brings him
But
joy.
Yeah,
brings him joy.
Yeah, and
Because I
that
think you've always been a
mindset
happy
to
person.
see his mindset shift and shift hers because.
But we're just talking about the wealth
because-
aspect as far as building that wealth. And sometimes I would think if I was working a full-time job, my spouse was working a full-time job, and I'm having two businesses, I would maybe feel like there's no end.
Yeah.
What is the end?
Or you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
where's the end? There's
yeah.
no end. Why would I still be owning two businesses and
Because
both
we
working
gonna get this
two
money.
full-time
Yeah.
jobs? You know what I mean?
We gonna
So,
get
because
this
some
money.
people would feel really overwhelmed and they wouldn't be able to handle that. And for them, they wouldn't understand. Okay, I'm trying to build wealth, and then the investment in the time. The investment in the time between, what do I invest my time in the most? Am I investing my time in my jobs, or am I investing my time in building my own financial wealth and the payoff? Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Like where's
So-
the investment going to balance out the best?
One of the things that I decided I was going to do is I couldn't jump into this 100%, and focus solely on this because I still have a mortgage. I still have bills I have to pay. So I knew that with my current career, I was really well established and I have repeat business and repeat clientele. So it was easy for me to maintain the appointment only scenario. there.
Okay.
so work by appointment only.
Yes.
And I just had to learn to balance my time a little bit better.
It's all time management.
Yeah, time management. So I
Yeah.
can go there, sell the car, come back here, focus on, you know, building the gym, building the business. So there's a lot of time management on the fly that I'm doing. But it's you know, if you want something to be successful, you figure out a way. If you really truly with all your heart want something to be successful, you figure it out. You work through it, you figure it out, and you make it happen.
This
Make
is
it
what you're
happen.
saying.
You make it
Yeah.
You're saying this right here. Dreams don't work unless you do.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's exactly
But you
what
have
you're
to
saying.
make it happen, and you have to be consistent and disciplined.
Absolutely.
It's going to take hard work, but
Yeah.
you have to be consistent. I think a lot of people, when they don't hit their goal, or they don't get it instantly,
Yeah.
they tend to get discouraged, and that's what tend to have people fall off. Because everybody has potential. I mean, potential is why you start something. That's certainty. I can do this.
Correct.
I think
But
he-
once you get feedback
Yeah.
from the world, it's kind of like it can get discouraging. But you have to just be consistent and keep
Absolutely.
going.
He said something earlier that I think makes a lot of sense, and when you're reaching your goal and his mindset, because he said that a lot of people get discouraged because when they're trying to go for a goal, they're only looking at the little tiny increment.
Correct.
And he's always taking a look,
The
he's always
big
stepping
picture.
back and
The
looking at
big
the big
picture.
picture, so it's like a puzzle.
Yeah.
If you only are seeing this one little piece you can't find,
It's gonna seem different.
it's going to seem difficult as
Yeah.
opposed to you have everything else done.
Yeah.
And once you find that piece, you're good. So always stepping back, taking a look at the big picture, I think it helps you stay on task
Absolutely.
and stay focused.
Have any last minute things you want to share with us or with the audience out there on how to invest in their mindset, health, and wealth?
Just keep pursuing your goals. Stay motivated. Don't let anyone tell you you can't achieve it. Yeah, just be you.
You can only be you, baby.
And for anybody out there looking for any health, fitness, they want to join a gym, they want to find a place where they feel like they can belong, they're comfortable.
With good culture.
Good culture, good atmosphere, good environment, an excellent owner with a positive, upbeat attitude who's going to make sure that you feel welcome and fit in. You have newly opened Dowagiac under Gary's ownership, Fit Stop 24, and the location we currently are now is Fit Stop Niles 24. Come check it out. Come and join. You won't be disappointed. And remember, you can only be you. And thanks again for listening.
Next week, blessings.
You can only be you, baby.